If you guys have been on YouTube or TikTok a lot recently, you might have noticed these very interesting propaganda videos that are essentially trying to compare the famous Western capitals of the world such as Paris, London, Rome, Berlin, etc. to the famous cities and countries that are usually thought of as not free and authoritarian in the West. For example, Russia, China, and I've actually even seen some comparing Western cities to Pyongyang, North Korea. And usually what these videos do is that they basically cherry pick the nicest looking footage of Moscow or Beijing or Pyongyang, and then they compare that to the cherry pick's worst possible looking footage of these Western cities. And these usually either feature protests or some sort of civil unrest, or clips where European cities are just covered in trash, or just simply footage of a lot of Muslims out on the street, because most of these videos are usually posted by people who hate immigrants. And for me as a Russian, this is really nothing new because this is a pretty common trope on Russian TV in Russian propaganda, saying essentially that all of Europe is in complete disrepair, is completely destroyed, just covered in trash, and actually people live terribly there. Well guys, today I found a really good example of something exactly like this, but on YouTube. I've been recommended this video recently called "Is this the center of London? Let's compare it with Moscow." This video got already over 2 million views in 2 weeks, and the comments are just amazing. Dear God, I can't even believe that this is possible, and they have the nerve to teach us how to live. Dear God, may you protect us from all of this scum. Sacred Rus. Ukrainians, this is your dream. This is your paradise. So yeah guys, you already know that we're in for a great time today. Myself as a person who's lived in Russia for his entire life but who's also traveled to Europe, I think I can chime in just a little bit. Okay, so we're in the center of Moscow. This is, I know this area. This is Kitai-Gorod. I mean, I really don't have much to say here, to be honest. It's just walking around the streets of Moscow. As a Russian, I've already said a billion times on this channel that Moscow is not a good representation of Russia. We even have a saying in Russia, Moskva не Россия. Because Russia has a very centralized system of governments, all the taxes basically go to Moscow and then are distributed around the entire country, and Moscow gets the most of the money. They also want Moscow to be basically, you know, the vitrina коммунизма, basically, because they want, you know, Westerners to see that Russia is a prosperous European country that is doing really well. We're walking down the streets. Cheapest car in Moscow, by the way, guys, right here. Okay. Bruh. Come on, bro. Come on. Like... I don't know, guys. You know, he just had to zoom in there, didn't he? Yeah, guys, I'm getting heavy Bold and Bankrupt vibes on this one. Whoever recorded this, we all know why you're so interested in Moscow, my guy. By the way, guys, I have one thing to say about Moscow, because Westerners who are watching this video and looking at it, oh my god, Moscow's so clean. This is one thing they don't realize. Moscow is a fucking joke, especially their pavements.
Oh, man. Come on, come on.
Check out this clip from my vlog I recorded in Moscow.
Here's one of the parts of Moscow that I love, is that you know, the ground, basically, the tiles are all fucked up all the time. They're always like this, like they don't try. And the reason is because basically what happens in Moscow is that they lay these tiles down on the ground and then they relay them like 8 fucking times per year, and somebody out there in a city apparatus is getting crazy money off of it. I mean, this is actually awful. Like, honestly. I mean, what is this? What is this, honestly? Exactly, this is what I'm talking about. This is the state. This is the state of the Moscow city. I mean, this is actually terrible. Honestly, like... Блять, это пиздец. Она просто вся ходуном ходит, bro.
And I honestly truly believe that this is all intentional as part of a corruption scheme, because a lot of people get to make a lot of money on, you know, essentially laying these tiles every year, every few months or so. So the center of Moscow is essentially a never-ending fucking construction site where they're relaying the pavements all the time, and even then when they do it, it's still completely shit. It's actually awful. That is something I did not experience in any of the European cities I've been to. Nikolskaya Street right here, this is basically right next to the Kremlin, the most central area you could ever pick, pretty much. Yeah, looks good, what can I say? Okay, so we get it, let's now go and check out London and what London looks like. Okay, there we go. The switch has happened. Oh my lord, guys. Look at this. Failed state UK, guys. Whatever Bold and Bankrupt usually says, failed state UK. Look at all this trash and look at all these people walking around. This is Soho district, center of the city, guys. Look how terrible everything is. LGBT flags, you know, for Russia that's a no-no, definitely, come on. Wow, guys, I cannot believe it that London is always this fucking dirty, guys. It's true, right? This is truth. Yes, guys, look at this. I mean, I know I have Londoners and people from the UK watching my videos, watching my content. I'm pretty sure you guys can confirm this is what London genuinely looks like every single day. It's always like this. But yeah, essentially a lot of you people are probably wondering right now, why does London genuinely look so fucking dirty? I believe it's actually pretty simple if you actually watch this video, because if you look at it, there's a lot of people with LGBT flags and pins and all sort of stuff, so it's pretty obvious to me that this has to be essentially the aftermath of the Pride events in London. It's always usually a huge party, you know, people are drinking, there's shit being thrown all over, you know, confetti or whatever. So that's why the streets are dirty. The thing is, guys, I'm pretty sure that the next day none of this trash is gonna be on the streets, and I've actually talked to Londoners, because I know people from London, and they told me that first, yes, Soho is never this dirty, and this video is basically absolutely cherry-picked to show central London to be, you know, as dirty as possible, and also too, they will clean it up. And here's the thing, I actually have some personal experience here as well. In 2019, I went to the European Union, I traveled to Prague and Berlin, and also while I was in Prague, I actually took a guided tour in Vienna, Austria. So I actually went there by bus from Prague, and it just so happened, absolutely coincidentally, that the day that I was in Austria, I was at a Pride event, and that is actually still, to this day, the only Pride event I've ever seen in person. And I also have a vlog about it, by the way. Essentially, I was walking around and I was looking at everything going on, I was filming this, and once again, during the Pride event, it was like a huge convoy of these cars that were like spraying confetti. There were people all around basically littering, drinking, whatever, smoking, right? And when I was there during the Pride events, right, I was like, you know, yeah, this is fun or whatever, but this city is fucking trashed right now, right? It's like, this is just awful. So much trash. Like, I wonder how long it's gonna take them to actually, you know, clean all of this up. And guess what, guys? The Pride event was still going on, and we actually decided to leave it and just go around the city to check out some locations, some sites. And guys, literally 2 hours later, I was back at the exact same location where the Pride event took place, and it was pristinely fucking clean.
I expected there to be a lot more garbage. It seems like they've already cleaned up the streets pretty quickly, because they were throwing around a bunch of stuff, but it seems pretty clean, actually. I'm actually surprised, because we expected to come out and for it to be a complete shithole after what was going down, because there was garbage and like drinks and cans all over the place. It's actually not that bad.
That was like the moment where I realized that cities can actually be cleaned, because in my hometown of Chelyabinsk in Russia, for example, when we have the city birthday being celebrated on like the main square, I swear to God, for like the next 2 weeks, there's like empty trash bags and fucking cans of beer just floating around the main square next to like Lenin standing. This is real. I'm not making this up. I've seen this many times. But yes, guys, you know, looking at this video, I can see this is really fair. This is a really fair comparison. Obviously, neither of the videos were cherry-picked deliberately to show Moscow and Russia as the best possible. Like, I'm sorry, but if you genuinely think that most European cities look like this all the time, you need to get out more. You know what I mean? Although it's kinda ironic I would say that to Russians who have no ability to travel anywhere in the world and have no money, because most of Russians, like 70-80%, have never been outside of Russia because they simply don't have the means to. And that is exactly precisely why this propaganda works so well. And now, let's check out some comments. Thank God that I was lucky to be born in Russia. The amount of trash on the streets of London is really not pleasant for the eye. And also, there is an infinite amount of the homosexuals. I'm looking at us and my soul is happy that we are not like them. Thank you. Oh my God. Dear fucking Lord. The difference between Moscow and London is just insane. It's like sky and earth. I'm so happy that my capital is Moscow. Jesus Christ, we need to cherish what we have. And we should appreciate in what a tidy and clean country we live. Cleanest country in the world, yes. Tell this to me, please. I've had to go to school and like anywhere basically, ever my entire life through shit like this. Like the streets of my city in Russia, Chelyabinsk, look like this. And most cities in Russia look like this during spring or fall, because the municipal like cleaning services in Russia just suck ass. Like I already said in previous videos, they never know that there's gonna be snow. they never know how to clean the snow. So basically, the streets are just always covered in complete shit and mush. It's also icy as shit. It's like literally impossible to walk. And this is not even just the case with like Chelyabinsk, you know, a provincial city that I'm from, which has over 1 million people, by the way. Just saying, but this is also the case, for example, in St. Petersburg, the second largest city in Russia, second most important city in Russia, Russia's cultural capital. And don't get me wrong, guys, I love St. Petersburg. However, I'm sorry, but walking in St. Petersburg in a city center or anywhere in winter is fucking awful. It's like the worst experience of all time. I also recorded this and vlogged it.
And you can definitely see that on the streets, most people are either trying to, well, either almost falling down, but also trying to, you know, be on the side that's the furthest away from the, from actually the building, because you will get killed. And some people, as you can see, even walk right on the roads where there is not even a semblance of a sidewalk, because the roads are not in the best condition right now either, and stuff. Yeah, bro. This is the most ridiculous sort of situation I've seen this city in so far, to be honest.
Not only are there literally huge chunks of ice that could kill you from falling off of the roof in St. Petersburg at any times, but also you either have to walk through a little mud and shit, or you're walking on ice and you know, you have a very high chance of falling down and breaking your legs. Walking in the center of St. Petersburg in winter is fucking unbelievably awful. And it's even worse in more provincial cities. But Moscow, of course. Moscow is, you know, that's where, you know, first-class citizens live in Russia, so... But still, if your country's streets are not walkable like 7 months out of the year because they're covered in shit, I don't really think that means that you live in the most tidy and clean country in the world. I'm sorry, but as a person who grew up in Chelyabinsk, I refuse to say that. Alright, so you guys might think that that is pretty bad. Well, actually I have something worse, because on the same channel we have this video right here called Is This America Too? Moscow, Philadelphia. Now this, guys, is gonna be a very fair comparison, a very, you know, not cherry-picked comparison surely as well. Philadelphia is obviously one of the best cities to pick. Alright, let's give it a chance, let's check it out. Wow, guys, what is this? Center of Moscow. Awesome, dude. Fucking awesome. And look at these pristine streets and cathedrals. Yes, Russia, based Orthodox country, not like the West that, you know, is being destroyed by immigrants or whatever, because obviously that's what these people always say. Yes, look at Moscow, look at this pavement that they're gonna have to replace in 2 months, because it's made of shit. Yeah, guys, very center of Moscow, like 1 kilometer from the Kremlin. I wonder why it looks so good. I really wonder why. Alright, let's skip forward now and see what America is like. Okay, there we go. Yeah, guys, so true. Once again, what a great video. How not cherry-picked is this? And look, I gotta say, right, this is obviously fucking terrible. Like, I've seen these videos of Philadelphia and, like, you know, drug addicts on the floor. It's fucking awful, and America is not a perfect country. It has a ton of issues, right? Low wages, terrible workers' rights, insanely expensive healthcare, lack of opportunities for certain minorities because of the environment that they grew up in. And I mean, I know what you guys are thinking right now. You're thinking, and I'm probably gonna try to defend this and say that, like, but actually America is not all this. Well, yes, that is actually a good point to make. Not all of America is like this. But also, yes, this is kind of fucking inexcusable, quite honestly. I mean, this is what capitalist dystopia looks like, really. Yeah, it's absolutely sad, man. It's fucked up. However, is this a fair comparison, guys? You know, I just don't really think it is. At this point, instead of Moscow, you might as well use, you know, Vice documentary footage from Novokuznetsk with like those crocodile addicts or whatever who are literally squatting in like empty Soviet commie blocks that have been abandoned for decades. That side of Russia exists as well, although I have to be completely fair. Credit where credit's due, right? When I was a kid in Chelyabinsk and I was walking around during summer, I was actually pretty scared and kind of wary of wearing sandals and flip-flops because I was sort of scared about like accidentally impaling my foot with a syringe that's on the streets. Because back in the day, when I was a kid, a teenager, whatever, I remember there would be a ton of syringes laying around everywhere, around my neighborhood as well, and I was always like, damn, I don't want to catch AIDS or whatever. I'd rather wear sneakers instead of sandals. I do feel like that issue has been addressed to a certain degree, because these days, I do believe that there's way less of that in Russia, especially in Chelyabinsk, at least in my neighborhood. There's way less like syringes laying around, so they've done something there, you know. However, Russia still has a major drug problem, especially with, you know, with everything that's going on, you know. A ton of people are going to be coming back to Russia with PTSD, etc., doing drugs, abusing drugs, doing terrible things. It's already happening. Maybe America's problems are just easier to see. Okay guys, now let's check out some comments. Dear God, protect and save my country Russia from this nightmare. Ukrainians, this is your dream, this is your paradise. Yes guys, obviously Ukraine's fight for freedom and sovereignty, it's because Ukrainians want to, you know, live like, you know, these people on the street in Philadelphia. That is exactly what they're fighting for, guys. I'm very smart. Screw this so-called American freedom. It's already turned into permissiveness. Every freak is a creative person that deserves to express themselves. Every criminal is a saint. Thank God that I live in Russia. What fucking Soviet boomer shit is this? I understand that for you it's hard to understand that people deserve to have self-expression and that anybody can be a creative person. I understand that you've grown up in a society where everybody has to be a fucking cog in a machine, and you still long for that, and that's why you support everything that's going on today. I get it. But I'm just not with you, okay? And criminal is a saying they're probably talking about George Floyd, they just have to be. Obviously guys, very not racist, coming from the Z person. Nazis are in Ukraine, by the way, guys. These are just so good. This is what they drove their people to with their freedom. May God protect us from this nightmare. And this country teaches us how to live and how to create freedom. No, it is them that need to learn from us. How to not become animals. May God protect us from all of it. Yes, it's all coming back to them like a boomerang now. For the native people of America, the Indians. Oh yeah, Russia has never misplaced or genocided any indigenous people, ever. Never ever in our history, guys. It's only America that's misplaced indigenous people and killed them. How the fuck do you think Russia became so big? I feel sad for them. They will die out like the dinosaurs. This is the future of a country that brings tears to other countries. Kind of ironic there once again, but yes guys, life for the average person in America is terrible. Americans are all living in the streets, they're all heroin addicts, they're all homeless. Us though guys, in Russia, we live the happiest life ever. Our streets are the cleanest streets ever, and we're just, you know, bastions of civilization. Oh my god, so fucking embarrassing. So, yeah guys, that's really all I wanted to show you this video, you know. What can I say? So true, so true. After seeing these comparisons, guys, I have to make an announcement. I am coming back to Russia. Now I realize that Europe and America are not really all so cracked up to be about. You guys with your freedom have gone overboard and it's turned into this. You see guys, this is why Russia with its, you know, lack of free speech and terrible foreign policy, let's just put it that way, greatest country ever. Greatest country in the world. I'll see you guys in Moscow. Anyways guys, on a serious note though, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, then please make sure to slap the like on it. And as well guys, if you would like to support me additionally, if you'd like to support this channel, if you like what I do, then you can go to the link down in the description and become a YouTube member. It's basically like YouTube's own version of Patreon. Or also if you want to do a one-time donation, you can use super thanks underneath this video. Oh, my camera died at this point, so yeah, I didn't get to say goodbye. Thank you guys for watching once again, and peace.